Triumph, featuring the hit singles Lovely One and Heartbreak Hotel on Epic Records and Tapes.
Available at the Sound of Baltimore, 227 North Howard Street for only $4.99.
Did I mention this album is after The Wiz? Like, this is Michael Jackson after The Wiz. You know, a lot of the music on here sounds like Michael Jackson's Off the Wall album. Like some of Michael Jackson's music. What do y'all think? That's just my opinion. You know, this album is in between Off the Wall and Thriller. This is the quote unquote the forgotten album. Is that true? Like, because this album definitely has hits and bangers on it. Now, which album do y'all think is better? Off the Wall or Triumphant by the Jacksons? Look, I'm not trying to start anything. Said you want to be starting something. Look, I'm just kidding. Hey, what's up? I'm Lauren Tix Wilson. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome back to my channel if it isn't. And today we're going to talk about the Jacksons. You guys voted, and you voted for the Jacksons. And we're going to talk about their album, Triumphant. I just so happen to have this on vinyl, as you can see. I'm going to tell you how I got this vinyl, and we're going to talk about this album. Let's get into it.
Don't ever doubt you'll be a someone. Always go for what you want. Get up and put your purpose on. Get up, feel the sunshine on your face. Believe that you deserve it all. Put in the work and you will end up far. This is my show and tell. So tell me, are you ready to get it on? So tell me, yeah. So tell me, are you ready? So tell me, are you ready for me? So tell me, are you ready? Tell me, are you ready?
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. We're going to talk about the Jacksons, Triumph. You know, a lot of thoughts was going through my head, of course, on even how I got this vinyl. This is one of the many vinyls that I inherited from my god-grandfather. He had an extensive, very, very interesting, nice vinyl collection that my godmother so pleasantly allowed me to have just a little something. I was like, why won't you keep it? And she was like, no, she didn't want anything, but I really didn't want it, but it just felt like it was meant for me to have. Plus, I was living there at the time, and I felt like I was like, you know, looking at all my grandfathers and grandmothers, things like their life and stuff. So I'm like, it was calling me, like they wanted me to have it. You know what I'm saying? But they had so many other albums, and we're going to talk about that. This is one of the many albums that he had in his collection. I never heard this album before. This is like my first time spinning this vinyl and listening to this album. If I did, it was probably just researching some Michael Jackson and the Jacksons and probably heard it once. But I'm more familiar with like the standout albums and hits, you know, like the early Jackson 5, maybe that everybody's commercially familiar with, of course, and all of like the Michael Jackson hits, of course. But this, like, if you're a true Jackson 5 or the Jacksons or Michael Jackson or any fan of any of these guys, then you probably know this album, have favorites off this album. Maybe you grew up listening to this album, or you had a sibling or a family member that played this album. What's your story on how you got connected with this album? And if you have it, I want to know your favorite tracks. This is their 15th or 14th album, I believe. This is when they started going by the Jacksons. Before they came out with this album, they're coming off of Shake Your Body Down to the Ground. Like, y'all know that song. That is a really, really big hit. And this is the follow-up coming off of that. And they definitely had some bangers and hits off of this album as I can hear playing it. And as I went to go research, like, oh, that's that song. Oh, that's why that song sounds familiar. You know, like, oh, okay, like heavily sampled in commercials. Like, yeah, the Jacksons been that. This is the Jacksons when they started going by the Jacksons, including Randy, you know, because he's the youngest. At first it was Jermaine, but Jermaine stayed with Motown as the rest of the Jackson brothers moved on to Epic. That's why on this vinyl it says Epic. And I believe Michael Jackson's solo records also has Epic. This record was released in 1980. By this time, Michael was no stranger to doing solo records, because by like 1972 or 3, he was doing solo records in the midst of Jackson 5 doing their thing. And by this time, 1979, Off the Wall had come out and he had already blown up. So I believe this was like, he was already turning into Michael Jackson as we know him. he just looks like he is so uninterested on this album cover, and no shade, but I'm just like, he just looks like, can we just get this over with? You know what I mean? But I don't know why he just looks like he was just like not in the mood, but you gotta love Michael. And shout out to Jafar doing this thing. I've been seeing the trailers. The Michael Jackson movie is coming out. It's really, really, really cool. There's Tito, there's Jackie, there's Marlon, and then there's Randy. And there's 10 tracks on this album. The vinyl has 2 sides, of course. This is one of the first pressings. That's why the image is like black and white, and you can actually see the white in the logo. I noticed that some of the repressed versions or the digital versions, there's like a blue filter on the album cover. Has anyone else noticed that? I'll be noticing. Whatever. I'm weird like that sometimes. I love the back cover art. It has a beautiful, beautiful peacock. It has Peacock History, Peacock Productions. I'm not sure whose company that is. I'm sure it's Michael's or he has something to do with it. But they dedicated this album to their mother. Through the ages, the peacock has been honored and praised for its attractive, illustrious beauty. And all the bird family. The peacock is the only species that integrates all colors into one and displays the radiance of fire only when in love. We, like the peacock, try to integrate all races into one through the love and power of music. Michael Jackson for Peacock Productions. So it turns out this is Michael Jackson's production company. Of course, he has a peacock and he's embodying that. Someone that I truly admire told me that I remind them of a peacock, and that's how I exude my energy. That's how I flash my energy. I think she kind of caught me, or, you know, not caught me, but, you know, she could kind of see the chemistry. This album was produced by the Jacksons, except for Everybody, which is written by Michael Jackson, Tito Jackson, and Mike McKinney. Associate producer Greg, and engineer by Tom Perry. Greg Philliganes, hopefully I'm saying his name right. 10 tracks. The opening track, Can You Feel It? Following up with Lovely One, Your Ways, track 3. Everybody, track 4. Heartbreak Hotel, track 5. Time Waits for No One, 6. Walk Away Right Now, Give It Up, and Wondering Who. This is a pretty solid album. This is the original pressing. I'm sure it is because of how the cover is colored. And the Heartbreak Hotel title track is still titled Heartbreak Hotel. It had not yet been changed to This Place Hotel, which was changed because Michael didn't want any confusion with the Elvis Presley song. Like, there's, you know what? Y'all thinking what I'm thinking. Just the fact that Elvis Presley was mentioned. I'm sure when Michael caught wind, like, you know what? I'll just change the title. Like, even though he did speak on how Elvis Presley's musical influence was important not only to white culture but to black culture as well, he did go on to say, like, no, he did not inspire me, but I could see why he is important. Michael, look. But this is a pretty solid album. The very first single released off of this album, coming off of Shake Your Body Down to the Ground, is Lovely One. And Lovely One, you know what, ended up charting at number 2 on the Billboard R&B charts and number 22 on the Billboard 200. The chorus is infectious. Like, I didn't know this song or remember this song by the Jacksons. It's not one of the standouts that I remember, like, that's constantly played. But when I heard it, I'm like, oh, the hook is immediately infectious. Look, let me show you what I'm talking about. Number 2 R&B song and a number 22 Billboard 200 song. It peaked at number 1 on the dance charts. Yes, Lovely One peaked at number 1. The second single is Heartbreak Hotel, aka This Place Hotel, and I love this song. And it reminds me of when Whitney got on stage and was singing it. Heartbreak Hotel. You know, what was that, Soul Train, when she did that? And you know, she has a song called Heartbreak Hotel, which is completely different. You could say it's inspired, but hey, it's 2 different songs. And plus they changed the song title. But what mostly sticks out to me is the groove and the production of all of the tracks, but this track specifically, and how a lot of people sample the song, these Jackson 5 or Jackson songs. Kirk Franklin sampled Heartbreak Hotel for the You Are the Only One remix, and I don't know, the song might trend all of a sudden after I put this video out, or everybody might see it or hear, but that is a great remix and gospel songs, and that's like one of my favorite Kirk Franklin songs. Kirk Franklin, holla at your boy, like you are a gospel king. But that's what I think about when I hear that song. So not only do I get up off my feet and I have to dance and sing when I hear Heartbreak Hotel, aka This Place Hotel, but I feel the same way when I hear You're the One Who Makes Me Feel Brand New, and my darkest hour I can call on you. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Look, don't give me, y'all sing it too. Can't nobody do me like you do. Switch it up. Shut up, do it. Look, sorry. Look, I'm serious. The song is that infectious. Not only is the original infectious, but the Kirk Franklin version is too. Look, first of all, just the way it starts with the violins, the synths, like just so dramatic, so ooh, just kicks in and grabs you. This is when you didn't need a lot of beats per minute. You just needed a groove. You know what I mean? Give it a chance. Kirk Franklin, call your boy up. Give me a call. Give me a call. I got you. You've been that kind of friend. Lord, I just can't use it. Baby, let you. Look, I'm just making up my own words at this time. Okay, sorry. Back to the Jacksons. Literally, this is where Booyaka Booyaka came from for Kirk Franklin in reference. Like, he would do this live too, but like, this is like black culture. This is gonna trend all of a sudden. I'm telling you, people are gonna be talking about this because people don't realize the greatness and don't appreciate it. You gotta remind people sometimes. You have to. This is why he was the Black Icon recipient this year. Y'all, you feel me? 2026. Do you know what he was doing in 1996? Exactly. I really like the lyrical content of all the songs. Can You Feel It is a really positive song about everybody coming together, and can you feel everybody coming together and loving on each other, and brothers coming together and family coming together, you know what I mean? And just the world being at peace. You know, that's kind of what the album is kind of exuding, you know, because it's like the peacock representing love and power in music and integrating all races into one. So Can You Feel It is like one of that, is given that in the lyrical content. Lovely One, I love the lyrics in that song as well. There's a lot of different songs in here that I like the lyrical content. You know, I like the lyrics on Your Ways. Jackie Jackson actually wrote that song. It's just about this deceiving chick that he like, I don't like your ways, you know, I'm being pure at heart, I'm giving all my love to you, and you keep letting me down, you keep deceiving me. I don't like your ways. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I really like the Walk Right Now track. So after Heartbreak Hotel, you have Time Waits for No One. You have Walk Right Now, Give It Up, and the final track, Wondering Who. I like Walk Right Now. It's just really talking about this scandalous chick that you're telling her to walk out of your life because she's just scandalous. Lenny Kravitz sampled that song for the song Human in 2024. The track Give It Up, it's a really good track. I love that track too. I love the lyrical content, and also Jay-Z sampled that song on The Blueprint. And the final track is Wondering Who.
I knew I was addicted when
Jay-Z, Addicted from The Blueprint. This samples Give It Up. Y'all clearly hear that, right?
Who else would employ you? I made you feel royal.
It's literally the same.
Some water, some bacon.
The Jacksons, Give It Up. Basically talking about a girl to just give it up and commit. Give it up and commit and stop playing. Give up the low life. Commit to true love. Commit to me. I'm true love. I'm pure love. But I don't know if the girl was listening or heard the Jacksons. What do y'all think? The final track after Give It Up is Wondering Who. 10 tracks on an amazing LP. I'm sure there's different editions that has extra tracks, unrecorded tracks, and of course there was a live tour to support this album. They released about a couple of more albums after this album as a group. This album went on to sell 3 million records worldwide and sold 1 million in the US, so it was already platinum. And some of the singles were bigger in the UK, like the final single off the album, I believe, was Walk Right Now. The first one, like I said, being Lovely One. The second one being Heartbreak Hotel. The third one, Can You Feel It? And the last one, Walk Right Now, which was more popular in the UK. But the album still did pretty well. And I'm obviously going to give the album a 10. It's the Jacksons, and it has hits and bangers and bangers and hits. Now, y'all let me know what's your favorite. What do you remember off this album? And if you're actually from this era, if you actually remember this album coming out and with the Jacksons, you know what I mean? Like, you was there. You remember the original stories. Share your stories and your memories about this album. And what is your favorite Jackson album or Jackson 5 album? And are y'all going to see the Michael Jackson movie? Like I shared in the previous video, the new trailer that had just come out, and I had the humble opportunity to play just a background extra in the movie, and it was fun. They did some scanning or another where they can place me and the group of people that I was in different spots, because they did a lot of green screening for the concert scenes, so they can place us all over. But that's just a little something. But I'm just amazed just to see how it comes out. I'm sure it's going to look amazing, and I know the fans are anticipating it. But I can't wait. I wonder if they're gonna do another Jackson movie then. That'll be pretty cool. But then Jafar will have to come back. But you know what? Y'all let me know how y'all feeling. Let me know what's your favorite off this album. How you feeling about this new Michael Jackson movie. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.